All right, yogis, we're going to start on our back today. All right, so just lay on your back, bring the soles of your feet together, knees fall open. I like to bring my arms above my head like this. If you want to do the hand on heart and abdomen thing, you can, but I like to bring my arms behind me on the floor. It opens up the underarm, the lymphatic area. So soles of the feet together, knees open. That's called Konasana in yoga, sometimes butterfly in stretching. And then the arms are just above you. So let's just take a few moments here to start to breathe and connect. So a nice big inhale in your nose, maybe even holding the breath for a moment at the top, squeezing your pelvic floor, pulling your navel in slightly. And then a nice big exhale. Just connecting to the breath, remembering that this is a meditation. And as the yogis say, you wake up in the morning remembering your big goals in life, not getting caught up in the temporary drama and the daily little things. But you start the practice in the morning remembering really what you wake up for and what you're working toward. And you try to put your heart and soul in what you're doing now to work towards those goals. All right, big inhale. We'll slide our hands on our outer knees, help the knees together, bring the knees into the chest. About 20 seconds here for light movements. You know what to do. Just kind of move lightly to wake the body up more. Wrists, ankles, knees, hips, lower back. All right, so remember, power yoga. All right, arms go down by side, legs go to the sky. Try to flex your feet, straighten your legs, press your lower back down. Ball the feet touch, lower back stays down, right leg just goes halfway forward. Okay, work on engaging your thighs, press your lower back down. If you want a little bit more, you can lift your head. Okay, but don't overstrain the neck just yet. Okay, right leg comes up. Left leg goes halfway forward only, yogis. So right leg stays up, left leg goes halfway forward. Okay, you hold here. We're working the breath. We're not moving a lot right now. Okay? Okay, both legs come up. Listen, both legs go halfway forward only. Lower back stays down. Both legs are halfway to the floor only. Hold, breathe. Okay, legs up, head on the floor. Right leg now, first leg, 3/4 of the way down. Try to keep your lower back down, please. That's our main goal. Try to engage your thighs and flex your feet. Head might lift here if you want a little bit extra. Keep the lower back pressing down. Hold. Right leg comes up. So both legs are to the sky. Yeah. Now left leg goes 3/4 of the way forward. You're trying to keep your top leg, your right leg here to the sky. You're trying to straighten your legs and flex your feet, keep your lower back down. This is a classic hatha yoga start. All right. I know it's difficult, but it'll make your core strong if we start to do this regularly. All right. Yeah, hold it. You try to straighten those legs, right? Now both legs back up to the sky. Okay, now here we go. Lower back stays down. Both legs go 3/4 of the way down. So you can see what we're doing now. Yeah, it's okay. Some of you's got to take a rest. This is a very strong start. It's doable though. Now go slow, both legs up. Okay, we're not done yet. Arms down by side, head on the floor if you can. Okay, now listen, one more round here. The right leg goes down. It hovers about 1 inch off the floor. So as low as you can kind of go, keep your lower back down. All right, so lower, but if you have back pain right currently today because you train hard or something just going on, you wouldn't really start like this, right? This is for people feeling good, wanting to push it a little bit. Okay, so your left leg's to the sky, your right leg's hovering 1 inch. Come on now, work here, and the right leg's gonna come back up.
Okay, you take a breath. The left leg goes forward, it hovers about an inch now. So your right leg up to the sky, foot flex. Your lower back is pressing down. Arms down. Remember, a little extras with your head lifted. Left leg's hovering 1 inch, trying to flex the foot, straighten the knee. And we're doing some core training now, yogis. All right. All right, now to go slow, left leg comes up, and you know what's about to happen here. Lower back stays down. Both legs are going to go low today, hovering, as low as you can. If you need to stay at 3/4 again, no big deal. But if you can keep your lower back down and bring the heels a little bit lower than 3/4, 90% of the way down, an area you haven't tested yet. And again, you can lift the head for a little extra, even the shoulders for more. I didn't mention that yet, but up to you. Remember, we're all at different levels. Just because you're a strong person doesn't mean every day your body's going to feel super strong, right? So some days when I'm in recovery mode, my body doesn't feel very strong. All right, I come back up, bring the knees into the chest. All right, so you got one more little thing here. We're going to slowly slide the legs out on the floor. All right, so you're just laying on your back now, but keep the feet about hips width distance. So think Shavasana, but reach your arms straight to the sky. Okay, arms straight to the sky. So it's like you're in plank, but on your back. Now, I just want you to reach your arms straight up so much that you lift your head and shoulders and you pause there. So it's like a crunch, but up to the sky. So now we're moving the upper body, and you hold there. Okay, then you lower down, just tap your shoulders and your head. I know this can be a little uncomfortable if you're new to it. Okay, now lift up again. Your shoulders lift because you're reaching up to the sky so much. Your head lifts. Now see if you can lift a few more inches there and hold. You just hold for a moment, right? Okay, and then you lower the shoulders and the head down. You take a little moment there. We're just going to do 5 rounds, not too many. Okay, then you lift up again. You don't want too long of a break because we're keeping the intensity going. We're trying to spike the sympathetic nervous system, your nerves and your heart rate. Okay, you lift up a little higher here in the end. Looks good, everyone. And then you lower down. Remember, we're not trying to crunch forward. They say that type of crunch hurts your back more. I actually teach that often too, but we're trying to crunch up today. Well, 2 more guys here. Let's lift up. Go ahead. So legs are on the ground, and we are trying to activate the legs, right? Lower back's kind of pressing down a little bit, and you're lifting up a little higher here in the end, that little extra inch or 3. Train that core, yogis, and then lower down here. And we're doing all linear core, right? That makes core training in the beginning a little safer, a little easier. Okay, and then go ahead, lift everything up. Your last round already. Go ahead, lift it all up. Okay, and you hold there, and you can reach up a little higher here in the end. You go for that extra inch or 2. Find that extra inch here and there, right? All right, nice. Lower down. Go slow. Bring your knees into your chest. I do want to do just one bridge here to kind of counter that energy, turn the back body on. We'll place our feet down beyond our sit bones. You can windshield wipe if you need, right? You add those little things in if I don't mention them. You press your lower back down. Now we drive through the heels and the big toe of the feet underneath the knees, and you lift those hips up to the sky. All right, you take a couple breaths here. If you want to walk your hands underneath your body, roll the shoulders under, that might feel good. You intertwine your fingers kind of underneath behind you, and you roll those shoulders under more. You feel the back of the neck lengthen a little bit more. Remember, you want to work out of a lower back arch, which means you posterior tilt. So your pubic bone comes higher than your navel. You don't let the knees buckle in or out. You don't do anything unconsciously in the body. You pull the heels toward the shoulders. You lengthen the core a little bit. And if somebody is doing some up downs, that's good. Or even a one-legged I see there. You feel good, you take advantage of it. You go big. You feel tired, you take it easier. Sometimes fitness teaches us to, you're not feeling good, but you still got to go to practice and work hard for your team. But that's not really the thing in yoga. Yoga, they say, there's days to really push it though. The yogis say push as hard as you can some days on great days. A lot of days you're not going to be feeling good, and you got to make the right decision of kind of resting and rejuvenating. Or a medium day, right? Kind of work hard, but also you kind of take it easy. Let's bring our knees into our chest. Let's take a quick warm-up twist here. Knees into the chest, just drop them over to the right. If there's another twist you want to do, that's fine. Only two to 3 breaths here, please. Head falls to the opposite side of your knees. Spread out the arms a little bit. Okay, you come back to center at your pace. You can hold anything you want, long as you need. Second side, knees right, head to the left. Just make sure you're on your second side there. When you're done with your twist, you've calmed down a little bit. You know, the bridge was intense, but not as tense as the abs. And then the twist was the more calming position, the opening. All right. When you're ready, we'll meet back in center, no rush. If you need a quick, happy baby, that might feel nice. Intermediate might be a plow posture, legs swinging up over the body. Just a breath or 3 again, not here very long. Okay. Yeah, nice. Some of you, you know, if you're feeling really good, add big postures. All right. If that wasn't enough abs, then you add more abs, right? When you're done here, we're gonna rock forward and back up to seated position. If it feels good on the back, you take a few extra of those rocks. Some days I'm sore from working hard, so I massage out the back there a lot of reps. Okay, it feels really nice. We're gonna meet up in tabletop. We're gonna do our active cat-cows today, yogis. All right. So it's power yoga. I leave out a little bit soft versions. We just did a couple soft postures. So active cat-cow is where I hover my knees. So I tuck my toes. I hover my knees an inch. You see how they're hovering? Okay. And I do my cat-cow here. I inhale, arch my back. Exhale, round the spine. So it's like a plank in the upper body. Okay, inhale, arch the back. Some people call this like a bent knee plank. Exhale, I round. Inhale, I cow. Exhale, I cat. A few more if you can, please. Try to get into this. You're trying to work towards maybe 10, 12 reps here at least. Again, when we train for strength, the idea is to kind of train till failure. I saw a lot of you doing your abs and taking breaks and then coming back. That's how you have to train to get stronger. All right, you have to go and get better at dealing with the strain and the difficulty, the chaos. Because if you leave when it gets a little difficult, your growth will be slow. Your growth is kind of relative to how much, struggle you can really handle mentally, physically. All right, downward dog is next. Nice job there. So you kind of go right up into it. You take a few breaths here and you pedal your feet out, whatever you need for a moment. Okay, now I want to get the arms really going here, and there's really no better way than the bent arms. So a lot of us are good at holding high planks, but we're going to skip that for now. We're going to hold, that was our high plank hold just there. We're going to do the bent arm planks. Now, a lot of these is just, you're going to drop to the knees because you can actually hold longer, which means you're probably going to get better muscle signaling. All right. So let's shift the plank posture. High plank, please. Now, just basic here, right? It's super good though. If you want strength, work hard here. Shift forward. Listen, just bend your elbows about 3 to 4 inches. So it's not quite halfway down yet. You got to pause between high plank and low plank too. You're holding now. It's like you're a third of the way down in a plank. All right. And then you straighten your arms there after you start to shake and freak out a little bit. And then you go again, bend the arms here. Try to hug your elbows in, lengthen more forward. Your hands should be more kind of tucked under the ribs, underneath the elbows, as opposed to being under your shoulders. Straighten your arms. Yep. Take your time. Some of you are going at your own pace. Work here though. Bend the arms. Low plank hold, please. If it's easy, you hold longer. You pulse down there. You hover a foot, 3-legged. Okay. Yeah. Now straighten your arms. We only got 2 more rounds. Good old 5 here today. Bend the elbows. Hold. Work. Come on, step into this moment. Take advantage of it. Remember your goals. All right, and then you straighten it up. And then this last round, I meant to say you go like maybe an inch lower each round, so you're really well body awareness and all the space. You got your last round here. Come on now, let's go a tiny bit longer. Low plank hold, maybe halfway down. Sometimes we do the 3/4 of the way down if you're a regular and this strength is quite developed. We've done the 1-inch plank as well, where you hover as low as possible. Yeah, hold if you can. Come on now. This is the one here where you're really signaling strength in the body. You know, the first few reps are like the warm up, and the last few reps are for strength. Lower down to your chest, yogis. Nice job there. That's a tough one. All right. Now, listen, I got a big warm up move for you here. Arms go wide. Think of this as a mobility, like a dynamic stretch. You roll to your left, right leg reaches behind you. I'm trying to work this one a little bit more. For dynamic openers, it's fantastic. Right arm reaches out, and you reach your left leg behind you. It's kind of like three-legged dog in the leg that's reaching back, because the leg goes behind you, opens, but it's also really nice chest, shoulder opener for the upper body. All right, so again, you're rolling side to side, kind of pausing where you need, just calming down, stretching out those chaturanga muscles. Okay, last few moments here. Yeah, and you can do it bent arm. Nice, yeah, if you're feeling good. It's also easier if you just keep your knees bent and you kind of just like windshield wipe your feet a little. You don't have to go for the big reach with the leg. So Nicole, you want your arms like wide, facing down. So lay on your chest, widen your eye. Yeah, it's kind of like that. But unless you were just doing that on your own, I'm just making sure. And then you go side to side a little bit here. You know, it's a little bit more movement based after those stiff cat, cow, dog, and chaturangas. So you see how it is kind of like a movement after all those kind of stiff spaces. A lot of times, guys, yoga and exercise in general, you know, you do this lot of sticky stuff, and it makes the body kind of, I don't know what better word, but sticky, like hardened, like stuck in. We don't want that. We want to make sure the body is freely movable, right? Think of a youthful body; it's very freely movable. All right, it's almost too movable. All right, so listen, we're gonna keep going here. I want to see an active cobra now. So you know this class is a little bit more geared towards strength. That was your stretch right there. So slide your hands near your lower ribs. If you want more, reach your arms back beyond your body like airplane wings. Now lift your chest, lift your arms, lift your abdomen. Try to lengthen the neck. You should feel your lower back light up. Engage your legs, point your toes. Try to roll your pinky toe down more in case you're rolling to the inner edge of the foot. Engage your thighs so much. Press your pubic bone down and your feet down so much your knees hover a quarter inch. Feet down, pubic bone down, knees hover inch. Okay, you're lifting the chest here. Okay, lifting the heart, lengthening the neck a little bit, but you can pull the head back in space a little. All right, and then lift up one more inch, and then lower down. Take a breather. We're going to do 3 rounds of this. All right, so we're doing a little bit more of like repetitions. So here we go. Let's lift up everything. So, excuse me, not everything, the upper body only for now. So the legs are trying to stay down, and that helps us isolate lower back better. I'm sure a lot of us need to strengthen our lower back. So go ahead. Everything is lifting, upper body's lifting, arms, chest, and you are pulling your belly in a little bit too here. That helps a more quality core training. As we're engaging our lower back, we're also teaching the abdominals to work with it, particularly the transverse abdominals, the deepest layer. Pull the belly in here, guys. Point your toes more. Engage your legs more. Teach the legs to work with the lower back and the abs. Okay, this is a postural correction exercise. Lift up a little everything more and then lower down. Okay, you only got one more round. Okay, go ahead, lift up everything. I keep saying everything. Lift up the chest and the arms. Remember, you can do this exercise cold. It's not a hyper range training, right? You can't move that far. You can only lift your chest as far as you're strong, which means it's safer. It's not hyper range like, you know, you wouldn't want to do maybe a big stretch here, first position. Okay, you lift up a little higher here in the end, and then you exhale, lower down. Okay, if you want a cobra now, where you take your hands underneath your arms and you lift up with the arms to stretch your front body, you can do that, but still work on activating your back body. I do want you to remember, yogis, this is just this one sentence is key to really remember. In back bends, we activate our back body. All right. You walk around a yoga room and no one activates their back body in the Cobra. Everyone's pushing with their front shoulders. Their shoulders are rolled forward. That's protraction. The shoulders are lifted, right? So what's the antagonist? It's the lower back traps. The butt's not engaged. Okay. The lower back's not engaged. The calves really aren't engaging. So just remember that, all right? Okay, listen, this is power yoga. We're gonna keep going here, guys. You're gonna lower down. You might want a quick child pose. I'll let you decide there. You're gonna neutralize, relax after the active. Everyone's looking pretty good. You're moving at your pace, no worries. All right, so we're gonna stick with one more plank here. Now we're gonna go unstable, so balance. All right, so you're gonna come back to downward dog when you're ready. Now this is called the balancing plank, and it really does just start with the foot hovering. So you're gonna come to high plank. Don't forget you can do it on your forearms if your wrists are a limiting factor. High plank, right foot hovers. So, some days I say hover 1 inch, some days I say lift it high. So your right foot is hovering, that's like a 1 foot plank. Now, if your right foot's hovering, shift your weight to your right hand, fingertips of your left hand, you're starting to get light in your left hand, left arm reaches forward. So now you gotta step into that moment and focus, all right? Pull the belly in, try to engage your legs more. So your right leg lifts and you engage and press your left foot down. Okay, you hold that for another breath or two. Okay, you put the right foot and left hand down. There you go. Left foot hovers. Yeah, it's very difficult. We do this on the knees a lot if you need it easier. Where we reach the left leg back and table, and then you reach the right arm forward. Same exact thing. I often mention that we do it in plank when we're in table. Yogis, you want a strong core, it's transverse stabilization. It's not, crunches will do it also, but it's more like your rectus abdominis there. You got 4 main abdominal muscles, but you also have them on both sides, your 2 obliques. So it's more like 6. Okay, rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis, I mentioned earlier. You want a strong core. The stabilizing here is really a game changer, all right? Downward dog is next, yogis. Hips up and back. Nice. Okay, walk your feet to the front of your mat here slowly. Remember, power yoga, it's not like vinyasa, right? It's a lot of strengthening and uncomfortable positions. All right, take a little inhale, half lift. Now you take your little forward bend here. You come, right? If you want, you throw your hands behind your lower back. One of my favorite versions there, especially after the dog and the plank, you get that nice front shoulder stretch by bringing the arms behind you up and over. Yeah, nice little sway side to side is good here, or intertwining your forearms. And, we're going right for it now, yogis. We got to go weight bearing in the legs because, dog isn't really, plank isn't really, it's a tension pose, plank, right? For the legs, it's not weight bearing, really. So here we go. Find your chair posture. All right, chair posture. So your arms are up beyond your ears, straight as possible. Your upper body's leaning back more. You're trying to center your weight over the foot. Most likely, a newer person needs to lean back. Sometimes we get too obsessed with leaning too far back. Also put a little weight forward, particularly in the big toe. All right. Now, hover your right foot an inch here. I want the left foot down first today. Right foot is hovering. It's a one-legged plank. So we're adding balance to a weight bearing. Okay, a couple more breaths here with the right foot hovering. If you can, you pull the right knee a little higher now and you bend the left knee a little lower. So both knees are kind of bending more, but still try to work that integrity of centering the midline weight. So weight stacking practice, be efficient there. Okay, right foot goes down, you sit into the chair. Okay, then you hover your left foot. It's about 20, 30 seconds. It's not that long of a hold here. Yep, you're doing good there. I know it's a power practice. Power yoga is the strongest yoga, basically. All right, it's like hatha yoga on steroids. Okay, yeah, some of you are taking breaks. That's how you get stronger. If you don't have to quit, you're not really going to get stronger. It's supposed to be difficult mentally. Okay, find your chair. We're not done there yet. Chair posture. Hover your right foot an inch because we're going again here. But now I want you to abduct. We've been working this one. Bring your arms wide. You're in a one-legged chair. Your right foot's hovering, and then right leg goes wide. And then you bend the left knee a little bit more. You tuck the tailbone a little bit, and you lift the right leg out higher. My right leg is not in front of me. If anything, the right thigh has to go back. Because what you see is people do this. See how the leg's in front of me? I want the leg to go back now. You got to tuck the tailbone, pull the belly, and bend the left knee a little bit more. Last round. There's only 2 rounds here. Okay. because now it's double abduction. First one's more glute max. This is glute med. Okay, right foot goes back down, sit into the chair. Is anyone still doing this with me? Okay, left foot hovers an inch. You know, we don't have weights, yogis. You know, you gotta go on that one leg, and then you gotta activate as much as possible through the legs. So left leg abducts, it's called, right? That's a action in your hip joint that your outer hip muscles take the hip bone, the femur, and out away from the other femur. It's called abduction. The opposite action is called adduction. That's where we squeeze the thighs together. But right now, we're not doing that. We're lifting those hips up and out. You're holding that. Remember, some of you look like your knee is forward. Pull the knee back a tiny bit. Don't let that knee sneak in front of you. Okay. Nice. Yeah, there's many versions here. I don't mind if you change it up. Last week we did the straight leg, hinged, lateral raises, abductions. Okay, go slow. Both feet come down. Okay, big inhale, stand up, squeeze the glutes here. I want to get into your side bodies. We really haven't done that much yet. One of my favorites here, a little bit longer hold. Okay, arms are going to go up. Feet are together now. We just abducted. So let's adduct. So feet together. Today it's called Kali Mudra. Palms are together. Okay, index finger releases. I don't want to see those palms separate, yogis. Arms reach up, okay? Elbows straight if you can. Squeeze the glutes. Reach up, weight in your heels, but also press the pad of the big toe down. Side bend, hold today, okay? Lean the weight in the heels. Turn your chest up to the left, but your left hip is forward. And you get into this, you're lengthening out and up, not just side bending. Lengthening precedes bending, guys. You don't want to compress the vertebrae, the spine. Make sure your lengthening is the main kind of physical goal here. Come on, try to hold, last 2-3 breaths. Most days we kind of either go in and out or a short hold in this posture, where it's moderate difficulty. This is stronger difficulty, all right? Arms up back to center. Go ahead, take the second side, please. Palms together, yogis. Your palms are starting to separate like this. Palms together. We got to strengthen the hands. Straighten your arms more, please. But relax the traps a little bit here, okay? So that side that's lengthening in the side, that's called tension, right? As a muscle lengthens, it has to be tight. Think of it like a rope being pulled apart. Your muscles are just like that, and it has to be strong as it's pulled apart. You know, whereas something like your other side's in like a compression variation. It's not really compression strength, though. A crunch is compression strength. Or a knee into your chest hold is compression strength. All right. Glute lift is a compression strength, right? Okay, go slow, back up to center. Big inhale. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take a sun salutation, just to kind of cleanse it, all right? Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, half lift. High plank, low plank now. Adding anything you want, handstand, push-ups, child pose if you need easy. Let's keep it going, yogis. You know, class flying, right? We're halfway done. If you just stay in the moment and work, it goes really fast. Remember, traditional yoga classes are about 1.5 hours, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours, okay? Let's keep it going. Downward facing dog. Okay, from the dog, we're in a little bit more familiar space. We're going now complex movements. So it's inhale, right leg goes high, open up the hip. We did a movement like this on the chest earlier, so I'm not gonna hold you here. So you open up your hip, now you flip your dog. You lift your left heel, you kind of pivot on your left, the back to the bottom foot. The right foot would slowly land off your mat behind you. Then you turn the chest and hips to the sky, another one arm balance. We did one earlier in the table, the plank. Try to bring your right foot a little closer to your left hand. Your right knee is bent, your left leg is straight. You push the big toe, your left foot down, and you're lifting your right heel. Okay, now listen, I want you to go slow. Work the transition back to your three-legged dog. I don't want you to hold that one too long now because we're working these movements. Three-legged dog, right leg to the sky. Now listen, shift the plank. Bring the right knee to the left elbow, and you're going to shoot that right leg to the left underneath the left armpit. It's called fallen triangle. Right leg shoots out to the left. Seal your back left foot down now and bring your left arm to the sky, fallen triangle. You guys should know this one. Everyone looks like they got it. I can see about 5 screens. Try to press the sole of the back foot down. Think warrior 2 in the back foot. So back heel seals down, Nicole. There it is. That's your groin. That's the inner thigh working now. Okay. There you go. Now let's keep it going. We're not done yet here. Left hand goes down. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Yeah. Right leg all the way back and up. Flip the dog again. See, we're doing this extra work here. Right foot off your mat behind you. Just one more time, please. Yeah. If you have to take a break, I totally get it. When you teach power yoga, it's like, how can I create a sequence where everyone has to rest and get frustrated and has to quit? But that's like life. You want to quit when it gets hard sometimes, but then you gotta remember your goals and keep pushing. All right, here we go. 3-legged dog. Here, you guys. Listen, exhale. Step your right foot forward between your hands. Find your lunge. So power yoga, you think Dekasana, you don't really think high lunge, right? So middle lunge. So listen, low lunge, hands frame the foot, hover your abdomen off the thigh, lift your chest about 3-6 inches. So your chest is angled forward. It's not up, it's angled forward. It's called middle lunge. So think between low lunge and high lunge. Everyone's looking pretty good there. So your hands start to hover now. Hands start to hover. And then you start to reach your arms forward to the front of the room now, lengthening forward. So one long line from your back heel all the way through the leg, all the way through the spine, through the arms. And you feel that space a little bit. You have a little fun there, torturing yourself. Okay. Now you go slow here. You rise up to high lunge for a moment. Okay, but the fun part is you get to go back to the Dekasana here. So you lower down again about, it's like a third or 3/4 of the way down, but depending on your strength and flexibility. Now listen, from your navel, your right leg is forward in lunge, right? So from your navel, you start to turn your core to the right just a little bit. You're turning your chest, even your arms are still reaching beyond your ears for extended Dekasana, but now you add the rotation, Pavrita, okay? You're turning your chest a little to the right here in the extended Dekasana. If this is extremely difficult, you are doing it correct. Power yoga, guys. This class is going to step up a little bit. All right. And Sundays will be simple, slow Sundays. All right. You'll still get some good strength, but it's going to be easier. Now listen, turn your chest down, rise up, high lunge, high lunge. Okay. Then you got one more really fun variation here. Okay. Warrior 2, turn your chest open to the left, arms go to the T. So you can see I'm not really doing like strength revolve side angle. I'm not really doing, stretch type variations in a lot of the postures today. All right. Some days you have strength focused yoga. So we're in Warrior 2. Now listen, reach your arms up beyond your ears. So you're like this in Warrior 2. Arms straight to the sky. Remember, it's super good for you. Reduces muscular resistance in the lat. Okay, that can open up your lower back, by the way. Now listen, I want you to think side angle. So you stay in the lateral plane. I might have to demo this one. It's side angle. You're here in Warrior 2 arms, and you start to hinge laterally. And then you're going to hold what you call side angle Dekasana. One long line through the body. Bend the knee, turn the chest up, open to the left. Last couple breaths here. And then you get a little breather, right? Rise up, straighten your front leg, turn your right toes in, parallel your feet, straighten your legs, hands on your hips, big inhale, little lift in the chest. If you want more, Gomukasana arms, reverse prayer arms, or start to hinge. Let's take a straddle forward fold now. Remember, forward bends are meant to calm your nervous system. If you have it, handstand at the wall, headstand. Okay, a few breaths here. After the crazy 3 Dekasana rounds and the flip dogs and the side planks, or the fallen triangles. I want you to be able to do your second side well. So make sure if you need the break, you do it now, all right? Nice. Nice, Nicole, Stella. And you remember headstanders, you stay longer. We're working towards inversions. I don't take, these are our classes. If I take, a lot of time to demonstrate and show these big inversions, it'll eat up a lot of the time. So if you have inversion practice, I want you to mix that in as much as possible. There's always a lot of opportunities, uh, you know, so just do it. Don't be shy now. It's not better to stick with me necessarily. All right. Go slow, yogis. Let's stand back up. And I just want you to cleanse your palate one more time with a sun salutation. All right. So you step to the front of your mat, you take a breath. And then with your breath now, you take big symmetrical movements. You inhale the arms up. I like to add a little back bend. That's the front tension. And then the exhale is the forward bend. The inhale is the half lift, the middle space. And then the high plank and low plank, the up dog and cobra. All right. And then you meet back in down dog, okay? Let's keep it going, guys. Okay, getting already to the end of class here, okay? So it starts with 3 arm balances. A lot of people don't consider like flip dog and fallen triangle arm balances, but they are, right? You're on one arm here. So you get back to dog and you inhale the left leg high. And you open up the hip. And then you slowly as possible pivot on the right foot, lift your right heel, and the left foot with skill, control, and grace lands off your mat behind you. And then you stretch a little bit here too, yogis. This is a freaky posture. It's extremely asymmetrical. It's a back bend. It has rotational and lateral qualities. So all 3 planes. That's awesome, right? It's kind of like Warrior 2, all 3 planes. Kind of unique. Okay. 3-legged dog here. Left leg high. Now the second part, you only get 1 round. So make it a good one. The fallen triangle. You shift a plank. Your left knee would cross across the body to your right arm, and you shoot your left foot out to the right. Thread the needle with the leg. Seal your back right foot down, and then right arm goes to the sky. So I want you to really focus on the right foot, pressing the sole outer edge of the right foot down. Don't let your hips go back. Drive your hips kind of forward and almost up slightly, and press the outer edge of that back foot down. And I want the adductor strength here. I love fallen triangle for adductor strength, especially in like a flow class. A lot of people can't adduct and triangle well. So people will be like, oh, use Warrior 2 for adduction. But I'm like, yeah, well, is anyone actually adducting, or are you just relying on a sticky mat and you're actually in abduction? So it's tricky. It looks like it's adduction. This one you have to adduct, right? You can't abduct here. Now, I want you to go slow. Some of you are ahead of me, 3-legged dog. One more time. The left leg goes back up, open. Nice. And then flip the dog, left foot off your mat behind you. If you got it. I understand if you don't, no worries. Sometimes I go into yoga classes, I can do everything and it's all easy and I just keep going. And then some days, the first posture, I'm like, I can't do anything. So, just honor the body, guys. Don't beat it up now. Okay, 3-legged dog on the inhale. Nice job. Now we're going to step the left foot forward. And now you got Dekasanas, right? So you take a moment here. Your low lunge. All right. And then the first thing is the linear Dekasana. You don't really twist or open. You're just really structured in a lunge. You start to lift your chest and navel, and then your hands hover. So your chest and navel 6 inches up off the leg, right? And you start to press the big toes down better here. And then the arms start to reach past the ears if you want. You don't have to do that. Hands could be on hips or hovering on the floor. Dekasana is an extremely difficult position. So the arms are reaching forward, one long line from kind of thumb, palms are facing each other. And then you start to lengthen the back heel back, pull the belly in, relax your traps a little bit. Last few moments here. This is kind of the longer one. Hold. Super strength Saturday, right? Strength Saturday. Simple Sunday. Okay. Now you go up to high lunge for a moment. You take a little breather. It's like 3 rounds of Dekasana. The second one we had the subtle rotation. The third one we open the hip and laterally do it. Okay. So this is really like side angle, actually, if you want to be more technical. So you hinge back to Dekasana. If you want to go crazy, your arms reach forward. If you want to go easy, hands on your hips. And then from your core, you turn your navel to the left here because your left leg is forward. All right. So it's kind of like a revolved moon, right? Sometimes if I really want to torture you right from there, I would say go into revolved half moon from here, but we'll build up to that. Come on, work, yogis. Left hip down a little bit more and back. Right hip lifts a little bit more and right thigh engages to straighten the right knee. Nice, yeah. Bodies have to quit. That's the thing. That's what we're doing. Okay, lift up the chest, arms up. Now open up to warrior two. So remember, that's a change of plane. You should be okay. You've been and straightened the knee a few times. And then the arms go to the T. So the arms go in a different position for a moment. Almost there, yogis. This is the last one, right? And then you get that forward bend again. Okay, now the arms go up to the behind the ears, it's like you're holding an imaginary block with the arms. And then it's a lateral hinge. We did one standing earlier, if you remember. That was actually lateral flexion. This is more of a lateral hinge, but it still is a lateral flexion because it's not triangle. And then the hinge takes place. Your upper body is like over the front leg. You're in warrior two legs. Come on now, work. Reach that block out. Turn the chest open to the sky. Draw a slight tuck of the tailbone. Pull the belly in. Yeah, and you can change it up too. Sometimes we move through these spaces. You turn your chest down here, Dekasana, even rotate version, then back open. We work all those subtleties, just giving you the structured form to start. We haven't been doing this type of Dekasana training. All right, now go slow. Rise up. Turn your toes in, straighten your front leg. Hands on your hips, do a little back bend. Okay, stand up tall and then forward fold. So you get the second handstand at the wall. You weren't weight bearing on your arms for a while, right? Your legs and your core was killing you. Arms are working, but not weight bearing. And then you're reaching toward the floor, pulling, or some of you are doing your big inversion. Okay, last few breaths, second round. It's like a time for a break, or you work on a big posture you're working on. I like to do that. I mix in these throughout class. All right, yogis. So listen, we're going to come back up here. No rush, inverters there. You step to the front of your mat. So it's the third sun salutation of class. One more round, just to kind of, a lot of times we use vinyasas or sun salutations to, let's say, like cleanse the palate, your physical palate, mental and energetic palate. So you come back to the dog. And then you're going to drop down to the knees and swing it around to seated position. All right, does everyone have blocks here? Because I want to do the low asana training here. It's really, we did enough like front abs. The low asana is really deep abs, and it's really functional for your traps, okay? To press down. So you cross your shins, you have your blocks right outside your hips. You press straight down, you lift your butt. You pull your butt back, you lift your inner foot, and then you lift both feet. Good practice, legs go straight. We're just gonna do 3 rounds and you're trying to hold here, guys. All right? Looks good there. Yeah, your butt has to go back because it's a counterbalance. Unless you're like Olympic gymnast strong, your hips have to be behind your blocks. All right? Nice. That reverse planche, right? That's Olympic gymnast if your hips are forward and up here and your legs can hover too. So let's go ahead, take a break. Some of you are already ahead of me. That's okay. I'm trying to get you to hold a little longer. Now, go ahead. Let's do another round. Cross your opposite shin in front. Come on, let's work. Just be careful if your blocks are flimsy, right? Because they'll flop and That's it. Looks good, everyone. Nice, Brian. Nice, Stella. Yeah, there it is, Kathy. Yeah, and you know what you can do? We've done that before. The legs go straight, and you can lift one leg. Just pull the butt behind your blocks, or this is not happening. All right. Second round, go ahead. Wait, excuse me. Take a break after a second round. And then you're going to do your third round. It's only 3 guys. You know, sometimes we do 5, or, you know, if you're going for like handstand training, say you're in a handstand workshop training, you might have people do like 20 rounds of this. You know, if just learning to push down and keep your body off the floor. If you want to do handstand, this is one of the, for any arm balance, this is one of the main preparatory arm balance preps. Low plank hold is also, okay, and we did that one too. This is key though. If you don't have strength here, a lot of the holding stuff in the middle of the room is not going to be likely. This will make crow a lot easier. You know, if that you're working towards that Kundalini a lot easier. All right. So it looks like a lot easier done. All right. So listen, I want to do strong back bends here. So this is like I'm saving a little energy for extra wheel poses. It's a power class. So traditionally in power yoga, both Ashtanga, Baptiste, they do 5 rounds of wheel. All right. So if you want to do reverse plank, that's awesome. They do both of them in Ashtanga. If you want to do bridges again, we did it in the beginning, that's fine. All right. But I'm thinking a strong back bend. So camel doesn't really fit in that category. Virasa doesn't. If you wanted to do like bow, that could kind of fit. It wouldn't be a peak extension, but it works. So if you got wheel pose, let's do it. Saturday morning, let's go big. If you want to do reverse plank on your forearms, reverse forearm plank, that's a really good one too. We've done that before. So let's get going. So sometimes in the end of practice, teach us, okay, back bending time. Work the back body, peak strength. Nice reverse plank. That looks good. Everyone, Stella. Nice, Kathy, little reverse tabletop. Ooh, nice, Darlene, Robert. You guys are in competition. Let's see who can hold it longer. Just kidding. Nice, Brian, getting that wheel posture in. Nice. So you make sure if you're doing wheel especially, you don't collapse out of it. You take time to lower down slow. You got to save a little energy at the end of the tank there and at the end of the hold and lower down slow. Okay. And you know, as you lower down, you probably tuck your chin a little bit so you don't slam the head into the floor. All right. So go ahead. You take a quick rest. What do they say in fitness, the exercise science? Say you're doing, you know, really intense exercise. You don't want to rest too long, actually. That can hurt your strength. You want to rest for about 20, 30 seconds, some say. Depends on where you're at, but it could be a little bit longer or it could be shorter if you're feeling really good, like 15, 20 seconds. And you go boom, right for it again. All right. You keep the sympathetic nervous system going. That's where all the blood flow is maxed to the arms, the legs, and the muscular activation parts of your brain. You don't want to sit there and think too much about the next round. You just kind of go up into it, okay? So go ahead. Yeah, everyone looks good there. Nice, Stella. Nice, Nicole. Yeah, Kathy. Yeah, it depends on the morning, right? You know, a lot of that science, it's like, obviously dehydration is a really important factor for strength. You know, blood flow is trying to get to your muscles when they're being demanded. And if you're dehydrated, like hungover, you're not going to be as strong for as long, you know. And if you had a really stressful day the previous day, that can also really make you not feel as strong. We know that science too, when cortisol is residual in the body. You know, say you had a stressful night and you slept with cortisol saturating the system, you don't feel nearly as good in the morning. Okay, so come on, let's keep going now. Another round. You're done here, guys. This is it. So you got to push it here in the end. Any last offering from your heart and soul, you put it on the mat now. The wheel pose. Come on. Nice, Brian. Nice, Stella. Nice, Kathy. Yeah, some of these are taking rest. I'm just trying to push it. I'm not, you know. Yeah, nice, Rob. Those one-legged hip thrusts, you cannot go wrong with that. You do those. If I have to pick wheel or, one-legged hip thrust for the average person, I'd probably say one-legged hip thrust a few days a week. A wheel is more of like a fun day pose. Okay. And then you take a break. Remember, first couple rounds are really not for strong growth. It's the last few rounds. All right. So that was 3, right? 2 more. Come on. Go ahead. Come on. Nice. Ooh, nice. Yeah. Headstands are welcome. You want to do an inversion instead. Nice, Brian. Handstand. It's basic. Wheel is basically a handstand, right? It's just like full back bending handstand. You're trying to shift weight to your hands more. You know where down dog, we always say, I'll wait for you guys to take a break. Nice. Yeah, hold that headstand on the wall. Hug those elbows in though. Don't let those elbows, yeah, there you go. Okay, take a break. You know how in down dog, Iyengar said, it's a shifting of weight from your hands to your feet. The beginner has all their weight in their hands and they can't hold down dog, right? You're shifting weight toward the feet, but wheel is the opposite. It's actually shifting of weight from feet to hands. Now, flexibility plays a huge role in both of these, so I'm not talking about that, but wheel is a shifting of weight from the feet to the hands. It's the opposite. It's kind of like down dog, but backward. You got one more round. Let's do it here now. Last round, then you get the stretch. Come on now. Go ahead. Come on now. All right. Yeah. Reverse plank, couple wheel poses. There it is. Nice. Stella, Brian, Nicole, Darlene. You guys are all working hard. Nice, Kathy. Remember, it's still not advanced. In advanced practice, we're doing 20, 50 rounds of wheel. I know that sounds crazy, but when you see the most advanced yogis, they do a lot of things that other people are not willing to do. There's an old saying, if you want to do things that others cannot, you must be willing to do other things others won't. I'll say it one more time. If you want to do things that others cannot, you have to be willing to do things others will not, right? People want to know how I got strong, can do all big yoga poses. There's days I do 100 wheels. And that's crazy to a lot of people, but they won't be able to do what I can. But it doesn't matter. You don't have to do crazy stuff to be good at yoga, right? You made it. Let's stretch here, guys. I'm going to do reclining Gomukasana. We did straddle forward folds. We're done there. The back bends there. Take care of front body stretching. Right thigh over left. If you can't, you do figure 4. Right ankle atop left knee. But if you can, it's like eagle legs. You cross your right thigh over your left. You reach and grab your ankles of your feet. You roll your sacrum and your head down. You pull on the feet. The feet don't go low toward your hips. The feet are wide. And you flex your feet as you pull. Reclining Gomukasana. Other hip openers are welcome, yogis. Does everyone know the reclining Gomukasana, just in case? So you cross your thighs. You widen your feet. You grab your feet. You pull. Okay? So from another angle, right thigh over left, you're here. See? Again, the feet aren't down low, they're up. Head down, sacrum down, pull, flex the feet. It's such a fantastic glute stretch. I think it's a better glute stretch than pigeon. Pigeon's like I T-band, outer posterior thigh, up into the glute. This is a truer form of the rotation, especially if you have trouble with the pigeon, with the parallel leg. Okay, second side, please. And what's nice about this one is you get both legs twice. Yeah, nice. Other hip stretches are totally cool if there's something you feel like you need. Try to flex those feet though, because if you do the Gomukasana with the lazy ankles, you are pulling through connective tissue. You remember, connective tissues are like a backup support system. The muscles are designed for tension. Yeah, your tendons can take tension, and they do always, but you don't want to like jam into tendons, because tendons are not like a soft tissue like muscle. If you irritate tendons, it's a much more annoying injury, and it takes a lot longer to rehab and rehabilitate. You got to remember that the muscles are designed for any tension weight. All right. And if you have a tension line running, you got to work on engaging the muscle here. So a simple way to protect your knee, connective tissues in your ankle, is to flex your feet. And if you know how to like pronate a little bit there, that's like a double protection. So it's like the big toe presses forward and out and up a little bit. All right. So I want to do one big spinal twist here. We did one in the beginning, but I do want one more. It wasn't a big twisty class. You had your Dekasana twist. You had your kind of flip dogs and triangle twisty movements. You had one on the chest, but a nice releasing twist here would be good. If you didn't get to do plow, it's really just something to release the core. So right knee in, you bring it across the body. And I'm going to give the big version today. So single leg twist, right knee in, across. So left hand goes on the outer right thigh, right arm reaches out. And this is the double bind. The right hand reaches forward, your left knee bends and grabs the left foot. So it's really called reclining Chapasana, or reclining Revolve Chapasana. All right. That's it. And you work on pulling your thighs apart. Your right hip goes forward away from your chest and space. You turn your right shoulder down more. Try to pull the belly in. Okay, shoulders still kind of rolling back and down. It's a big one. Last few moments. Remember that Chapasana coil stretches are the biggest stretches in the human body, and this is one of them. On your back, it's more difficult to find a bigger stretch than this. All right, we'll switch sides, releasing second bind first, unrolling back to your back, bring both knees in maybe for a moment. Right leg release, left knee across right, scooch hips left. And again, you might need to walk your right leg to the left a little bit too. Sometimes that right leg will sneak kind of in front of you in space. And if you're going to try it, your left hand reaches forward, right knee bends, left hand, right foot, because your right hand is on your outer left thigh. So double bind with the twist. Whenever you're done, slow release. And knees into the chest. It's like kind of like one last squeeze. If there's any little thing you want to do, that's fine. We want to do closing meditation here, yogis. All right, so you want to get nice and comfortable, laying on your back. If you want to do a mantra, if you want to do a breath or two here, but you really just want to calm your nerves. Remember, it's the idea, the yogis knew this thousands of years ago, right? After stimulating, antagonizing of the nervous system, you want to calm it all down. You don't want to leave in a sympathetic neural state. Your body is producing cortisol. It's called the exercise paradox. Exercise is extremely damaging, irritating, inflammatory to the body. And we want to calm that all down by a parasympathetic response. That's a little bit more of the scientific, right? So you get comfortable, you close your eyes, you relax your breath, you relax your face, your body, and you try to just kind of calm the mind. And you just stay here for about maybe 3-4 minutes today. All right, so final pose together, relaxation, meditation.